Earlier on I touched on Hexagon's coordinate system, but now I'm going to go a little bit deeper. If you just cast your eyes to the bottom left of the screen here, you can see this widget which is called a trihedron, and this mimics the tool handles that we've got in our scene. It also mimics the actual colour coordinate system as well, which is the green, red and blue. You can see that we've got the Y, the X and the Z. In addition to this, what you can also see is a white plane in between these two axes, in this particular case between the Z and Y. This is what's called a work plane. When you rotate, you can see this work plane is actually switching according to which direction you're viewing in your viewport. The reason why we've got this work plane is that some specific tools will work according to this. This avoids us having to go to a quad viewport, for instance, and work specifically from the front, the right or the top. We can simply go in the full perspective 3D mode and allow Hexagon to decide according to the direction that we've got our work plane in. As an example, if we wanted to draw a piece of geometry specifically to the floor, we just rotate our work plane so it's like this. We go to the primitives, say for instance, and select the grid, and draw this grid out. It's going to draw it out according to that work plane. But if we wanted the work plane to be on this particular axis, well, you can see now it's changed between the Y and the X, so that we can now select this grid and draw it on that particular work plane. So there you go. That's basically what we can do with this trihedron, and it gives us obviously the coordinate system which we're working in. One thing you'll notice when you look at the handles on the geometry that we've got selected, and we look at the handles that are shown within the trihedron, is that not only is the actual colour system orientated in the same direction, but also the X, Y and Z is as well. You can see as we rotate around, the trihedron and the actual handle that's used currently on this model is pointing in the same direction. This direction is called the world coordinate system within Hexagon, and the world coordinate system is always going to be the same. The trihedron will always show you what the global world coordination system is. However, there are times where you wish to break out of that world coordination system. Here's one example. All the time that you've got the whole object selected, it would be quite logical to probably keep it like it is. But sometimes you may want to actually select a particular face and have the handle specifically pointing in the normal direction of that face. At the moment, as you can see, the handles are still pointing in the direction according to world mode. Now we can access this at the top left where it says world here. We can change this to say selection, and notice how the handles have now changed its orientation. The trihedron will always stay the same as mentioned, but now the handles are going to be orientated to this selection. This means that we can move our selection according to the direction of the normal in which the actual face is pointing to. In addition to the selection, we've also got what's called bounding box. And according to the different shapes of your geometry, you may actually want the coordinate system of this handle to be pointing according to the bounding box shape. Just moving along a little bit, you can see what here is called the X, Y and Z. Again, this is working on the basis of the actual world coordinate system for the X, Y, Z location. However, if we turn it to camera, you can see that no matter which direction we turn in, the tool handle is always going to be directing according to what the direction of the camera is. So this again could be very handy if you're working in a specific area and you're always going to be wanting to move according to the specific position you're in and not according to the world axis system that you're actually could have been selected. So we can see here now it's locked back to the trihedron the way it was originally. So these are certain things that you may want to just play with, and then there'll be a time in the future where you think, that would become handy if I can do that.